Mr. Velez, are you ready?
Yes.
Okay, it's about 12:08. I'll call this meeting to order. First item on the menu, on the agenda is approval of the minutes. We'll entertain a motion.
I move to approve the minutes.
Motion made to approve. Is there a second?
I'll second.
Motion made and second. Any further discussion? If not, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
And those opposed? Motion passes. Next item, public hearing, 643 East Jefferson Street. Mr. Velez.
Sir, respectfully, I believe we took something out of order, sir. The citizen communication general, I believe we should delve into that perhaps
Wait,
in
I
case.
can't hear you.
I think you took something out of order.
Can you hear me now, sir?
Yes.
I believe we're taking one item out of order in case any of the attendees wish to make a public comment at this time, sir. It's
Oh,
not
okay.
numbered, it's just above the one, citizen
Okay.
communication.
So we'll open the floor for public comments.
If it would so please
Okay,
you,
are
sir.
there some rules you need to address?
Yes, Your Honor. Yes, sir. Any public comment should be restricted to inside of 3 minutes and no individual should be addressed.
So we as board members are not allowed to voice any kind of opinion, correct?
Correct. This is a time for the public to make their comment and they have time restrictions and so as to not impede upon their time. Correct.
Okay, and you're taking care of the time?
Yes, sir.
Okay.
And ma'am,
Yes,
if you
ma'am,
would state
identify
your-
yourself.
Yes, I'm putting my timer here. Hi, my name is Lynette Benavides.
Is your microphone on?
Here we go. Can you all hear me?
Yes.
Great. Lynette Benavides Villarreal. I reside at 1 Ebony Avenue here in Brownsville, Texas. I came today to ask for the support of all of you here on the commission. For over about a year now, I've been trying to complete my front yard with a driveway, but what I've been told is that the plan that I would like to put into place is considered parking. Due to an ordinance, I'm not allowed to put in a driveway that would benefit me without having to cut down partial or all of my ebony tree due to the many restrictions because of how the property is placed. Am I allowed to offer a picture? In my 3 minutes to the, yes? Okay. And so I was here before. And if you open to the first page, you can see a rendering of what I would like to do. And on the back, you can see the site plan, which shows an area for parking cars, sidewalk to the front door, and where the fence would be. I don't know if it was last month or the month before that I did come by. My request to the Historic Preservation Committee is a letter of support. I know that you do not have the jurisdiction or the ability to grant me approval to do this project, but I do believe that if I had your stamp of approval, the Brownsville City Commission and the mayor would consider allowing me to put in this sort of parking, which would therefore allow me to park somewhere near my house so that folks would not have to continue to park on the dirt or near my pool or in my backyard. So that's my request today. And I did put a sample letter in the front of the little packet that you have. I'm not quite sure if this is something, again, you said you might have to take to legal. But again, I would love to have your approval for this plan. That's all. I have 4 seconds.
Would we be allowed to submit a letter of support for what she's requesting?
I don't believe that's within the jurisdiction of this body, but we can look into that, sir.
Okay.
Thank you.
Is there anyone else to speak in a public forum? Need to make a motion to close public forum? Okay, is there a motion to close?
Motion to close.
Motion to close. Is there a second?
I'll second.
Motion made and second. Any further discussion? If not, all those in favor say aye. Those opposed? Motion passes. All right. Number 2, public hearing. 643 East Jefferson.
You will know, these first slides are a reminder of the certified local government that Brownsville is since 1986. So all the certificate of appropriateness must be based on the Secretary of Interior standards. Here are the principles developed. And then also, I'm including the building site and setting, putting in bold letters what is recommended and what is not recommended when you want to relocate buildings and so. More of the site features as well. And naturally, the rest of the ordinances that are applicable in Brownsville, such as the UDC, on the International Building Code, or the Residential Code as well. I'm developing here a little bit regarding demolition because we have today 2 requests for demolition. So if you see in the UDC, you would find all these kind of articles that has to be followed. For example, that if it retain a cultural heritage or not, the loss of significance, what has to be, what are the causes that allow to consider a property with a loss of significance. And here, this is an important thing when you want to document and place the strategy of demolition. There's an important thing that is applicants that have received an approval of a COA regarding demolition shall be permitted, receive a demolition permit without HPC action on demolition, or permits for demolition and construction may be issued simultaneously. And that's what we have been applied since probably even before I was here. So I'm also putting here that the HPC may postpone action on the demolition request for up to 60 days from the date of the application is considered complete. So you should have to think about if the application has been completed with what I'm going to show you. And finally, letter C says that if a feasible alternative is not found within the 60-day period, the HPC shall forward the request for demolition to the City Commission. I'm here reminding the historic districts where all these kind of things are applicable. The historic district itself and the 2 National Register historic districts. So the first request is the demolition of the Angelita Melchor site or house. It was built in 1950 and probably remodeled on 1979. I'm explaining here the history of the house. It was built by Taylor Lumber on 1950 for a widow called Angelita Melchor, who passed away in 1979. And that year appears as a new work to be done by Peña Lumber Yard, or Bertha and Francisco Lopez that were the owners on that time. It is a medium preservation priority ranking, as you can see in the orange spot there. So that means that if it's properly rehab and so, the owner may have tax exemptions. I'm showing here what we have on the rear of the left bottom lot, and it simply establishes that in 1957, there was a kind of the dwelling. You can see the rectangular dwelling. That is not exactly the layout that we have right now there. So you can see from the photographs that simply the front porch has been altered. I don't know exactly if this kind of layout that you can see to the right on 1957 Sanborn map corresponds to the rectangular shape of the house that is behind. You have a bevel siding house there. I'm going to show some more photographs than the last time. This is the interior condition. You can see that there's part of the floor that is there, but a huge other area has totally gone. This has not been done by the current owner. Now, this is how the house was when he bought it. You can see that the rear is with damage. The door seems to be, the entrance door seems to be original, but has a lack of the bottom area as well. And you have some 2 panel doors in the house. So as you remember, the idea is to, let us say, demolish the 2 houses. The first one that we are looking at is this one, to create a kind of restaurant here with a palapa and a rear parking, such as it's shown here in the site plan. So the other medium preservation priority ranking will be kept, while the rest would be or moved or demolished or relocated or whatever. The SWOT analysis show the kind of strengths, weakness, opportunities, and threats that the owner may have with this location, the 643 East Jefferson Street. As an opportunity, we think that someone else could reuse the house as affordable housing. Now, if you remember, also, I've been waiting more than 60 days, something to happen, and it didn't happen anything. What I'm showing here is simply, okay, the properties that Solaris has. The 2 in yellow are the one that we are going to review today. The 3 in orange are the properties that were demolished in the past, and the green one, the property that has been completed, and that worth more than near $3.5 million for the rehab of this building. So for the staff recommendations, what I'm explaining here is simply going through the ordinances. And again, the interior standard says that it's not recommending to relocate, and so following the UDC, the proposed replacement of structure to be demolished, the HPC has to decide if the contribution of the existing property and the merits of the proposed replacement are equal and balanced. That's a very important point. And also, what I'm adding here is that naturally the ideal would be to, instead of dismantling or demolishing the house, maybe a donation, so someone else could have take advantage of that house and rebuild as an affordable home in any other place, or preferably in the Historic Preservation Overlay District. Again, the final point of this slide, what it shows is that it's not only losing a medium preservation priority ranking. What is important is that in a future National Register Historic District, it will be 1 house less that could be incorporated into the total fabric and boundaries of that historic district. So finally, I'm reminding the 60-day period that has technically passed if you consider that the project has been finished. So what I'm going to read is the bold area that is the final determination of the recommendation is, therefore, the HPC determines that the renders that I have already introduced are sufficient to define the project, and a feasible alternative has not been found within the 60-day period since the item was tabled on March of 15, 2024, a period that will end in 5 days from today. The HPC may recommend submitting the demolition request to the City Commission unless the HPC determines the demolition of the existing structure. This follows the kind of ordinance if you consider that the project has been completed. Again, I'm reminding that ideally the best thing would be to try to, instead of dismantling or demolishing, simply try to complete that kind of donation so the house could be simply reused by someone else, preferably in the Historic Preservation Overlay District or in any other here in Brownsville. For this, the staff would encourage tax exemptions to the new property owner if needed.
Is that it?
That is the first one. You want to,
Let's go
check?
back,
You
let's
want
go
to check?
back to the Sanborns.
Yep.
Okay. I'm not sure. Looking at the site plan, the 1926.
Mhm.
I see where Jefferson Street is, but we're not talking about Jefferson Street. We're talking about Adams, aren't we?
No, we are talking about Jefferson Street. So you should have to look at the rectangular lot to the bottom in all of them, but on the rear. That is kind of a shotgun with the front porch. What I feel that happened is that simply this shotgun was preserved until 1930s, but in 1957 was rotated. And right now it was a horizontal, but if you take into account that thing, and if I'm not wrong, and it's a shotgun, then what you see in the photographs, this is not a shotgun, it's wider. So then the structure, this could be the structure that perhaps the Peña Lumber built on 1979 instead of being there since 1914. Okay?
Okay, go to the Google map.
I cannot show you oh, sorry. This one.
Okay, there it says 636 East Jefferson. And
630.
yet our agenda says 643. Which is it?
Yeah, no, it's 643, East Jefferson. This 635 is shown in the survey when you click on the orange bottom, okay?
Okay.
But it's 643. Thank you
Okay.
for asking. We are looking to that house, to the rear one. So as you can see here, you can see also the width of the house compared to the Sanborn map that we are talking about. So it looks like the house, more than the 1950s remodel, looks like the house is more kind of maybe the 1950s absolutely remodel, or maybe a new house built in 1979. That should have to be considered as well.
Okay, who wants to speak on this project? Mr. Garcia? Step forward.
Okay, so first, I want to approach to the committee and tell you that I want you guys to understand that I'm not buying to demolish. You told me that the other day, and I didn't take it right. Because I believe that you guys think that I'm just buying to demolish and not do anything. Okay? And I think I can prove you that I've been doing a lot of investment downtown. And I do believe in downtown. But every time that we come here and we talk about this, it's kind of hard because I have a whole plan that I want to do. And in instance, these two properties, it took me about 2 years to buy them. Okay, and the price that it was for that property, the two houses, it was $250,000 at first. So it took me 2 years to lower the price down in order to get the buyout. Most of the houses downtown are not owned by an only person. Most of the houses are owned by a family.
True.
And sometimes it's difficult to put them together and make them understand that if they sell them, sometimes, actually, I can tell you, I can share this with you, the house next door, a very pretty house, very old house, that I think that's one of the best houses there. It has been 3 years, and I already got the sign of 4 of the members, and I'm still pending on 3 members that they don't want to sign in order to sell it. So I think I'm gonna just throw the towel and not go into that one. But that was almost the same thing with this property on the corner. Why am I telling you this? Because it takes a lot of time, a lot of effort to get a price down to where I need to be. Because the idea of buying houses to remodel the houses and making them for a living area is not what I'm doing. I'm trying to bring businesses downtown. I'm trying not only to build the apartments that I'm going to be building, but also creating the people flow coming downtown. So I want to say that to you guys because I want you to get the whole picture of what we're trying to do. This restaurant that I'm trying to propose here, I already got a tenant that is willing to go with me on this one. And that's another thing. It's an investment. This property that you're seeing there is gonna be about $700,000 to $800,000 just to do, okay? And I'm gonna be keeping the other house, the one on where the, not the alley, the side alley is. That house is a historic house. I'm gonna keep that one. I'm gonna make it part of blending it in with the other apartments. Because it's not gonna be a house. It's gonna be a commercial business. So I just want to tell you, that's what I'm trying to do, is not just demolishing and trying to keep it. Another thing is, I'm not flipping anything. I'm not buying to sell. I'm buying to operate. If that doesn't tell you anything, then you don't see me as an investor. You're seeing me just as somebody that wants to flip things. I'm not doing that, okay? So please understand and please take into account what I'm saying. If I'm gonna do it, I'm gonna do it, Mr. Walker, okay? But I want you guys to know that also it's time. It takes time to do the buy-in. It takes time to do the investment. If I want to go to the bank right now, I don't know if you guys get loans in the banks right now, but it's kind of hard right now to go and get banks to lend me money for this. So I'm also having to do something out of pocket. And my main business is getting hurt a little bit right now because of the situation in the market. So I need to go a little bit slow right now. But that's it. Right now, the opportunity that I have. Now, I also told Juan, I already tried to move the houses, give out the houses, do everything in order not to destruct them. But it's cost effective, it's not good. Just to move the front house is gonna be about $10,000 to $12,000. They need to reinforce it from the inside in order to move it. So that's not only just coming in and moving the house easy. So we probably can find a way to relocate the house. Yes, we might, but we're gonna have a challenge to move it. So that's why I believe that this is a good way to go. Now, we have a park, the park right there. That's a beautiful park. That's the only park that we have downtown that we need to flourish and we need to bring it in. I believe that with the apartments and with a restaurant and with the linear park that is getting more and more attention, this is gonna be a good site. So that's my projection. And I just wanted to share that with you guys. Please don't see me as a destructor. See me more of a developer. And that's what I wanted to tell you. If it can be done like that, I appreciate it.
Let me address the issue of us hurting your feelings.
Mm-hmm.
How many projects have you completed?
It's gonna be 3 right now.
Name them.
The one that used to be the Goodyear, the one that right now I'm working with Nolita Pizza that is in the same building as the Sears building, and the restaurant next door.
Okay.
Just
So-
in that, you want me to give you an amount?
No.
3 million.
My point is that we weren't, speaking on behalf of the group, I don't think we were trying to hurt your feelings per se, but we were somewhat frustrated that you've been buying a lot of properties, which we appreciate. We appreciate people coming in and recognizing the historic buildings that we have downtown and purchasing the buildings with the intent of recreating, refurbishing, or repurposing these buildings. You've done a terrific job on the Goodyear building. And, but that's really the one that's front and center as you're driving down the street. I'm looking forward to the bungalow next to the Manitou House of your finishing that according to the rendering that you showed me. I was blown away by
The
that.
Elizabeth 25?
Huh?
Elizabeth 25? Is that the one?
On Elizabeth Street, right
Yeah.
next to the.
I'm having issues, right now, I'm having issues with that one in Austin in order to accept it as a historic building. So that's why I haven't done it. And I can prove you, I can send you letters of, I'm pushing for them to take it as a historic building, and they don't want to. So, and I can send you the last response that I got. That's why I haven't done anything. But as you can see, we wash it, we clean it, the grass is cut in, everything's cool. So I know that I'm waiting for that one too, but it's just gonna take a little bit more time. Another thing that I forgot, my office is downtown. I don't know if your office is here, but my office is downtown. And that building that we bought a couple of years back, if I didn't buy it, probably somebody didn't buy it, it was just gonna be an abandoned building. So that's another thing. That building is also counted, and you've been there to my building, to my office.
That's the savings, the Brownsville Savings Bank.
Southwest Savings and Loan. I can say that that's another project that I've been keeping up and I have it there. So, I'm part of downtown.
Yeah, and
So-
you're forgetting also that the Sinclair Service.
I'm
Station,
getting the certification for that building
the
to place
HPC.
it as a
The
building.
HPC
Yeah.
approved the demolition of that building, and really when he found out that the original structure of the
Actually,
950 was
I
there.
was able to to get the permission to do I'm gonna take out, not right now, but the drive-through, the tellers, the outside, that's not part of the building. So that way I can show a much better front of the building. And so and I understand where you're trying to do. You want me to show more stuff. It's just a matter of time and money. Because it's also something that it's there. I mean, I don't know if I heard it buying a lot of property, because I'm getting hurt right now. It's just property is being sitting there and it's costing me money, so I need to move along. So,
Well, we were disappointed in a little house on Adams and Seventh Street that, we worked with you on that. went over
Yes.
Around
yes,
and we were gonna move it forward and all.
that's gonna
that.
be the apartments, yes.
And then, next thing we know, you're asking for demolition. And so we don't want that to be a preview of these other projects
It-
that
it
you're
won't.
purchasing.
It won't, actually, I don't know if you remember also the Sinclair building. I had that one, I was gonna demolish. That one I was gonna demolish because actually I was granted the demolition for that property. And I didn't want to demolish it. Now, another thing that I want to tell you is, if you go back and do the construction right now with the codes and with the city, if you believe this is a challenge with you guys here, it's another challenge with the city to allow me to do the construction, even redevelop the buildings. So it's not easy. And I'm not doing, the buildings that I'm redoing, I'm putting a lot of things new, like the drainage, the electrical, everything is new because I cannot work with the old things in that area. So, it's time, Mr. Walker. It's really the time that's been putting me on a pace that I cannot do more. I wish I can do more because every time I can do more, guess what? My properties are gonna be higher appraised. And that's what I'm looking for. I'm looking to appraise the properties higher. That will be more taxes for you, for the city. That will be more business for the city as well. So another thing that I did here in the building of Sears Building, you remember the old ugly canopies that they were there, the wood? I took them out and they allowed me to do it. I picked the original canopy style of the building, the 1940s, 1950s. And that's something that's gonna allow me to get the credits from the Historic Commission as well. So I'm doing that.
When you leave here today, I want you to feel that we, as a group, are pleased that you're purchasing properties here with the intent of making improvements to these buildings and properties, because I think we all feel that way. We really don't particularly want to allow demolition to take place unless it's really warranted. And the demolition is the absolute last thing. I mean, we would prefer a building being relocated rather than being demolished. So that's just the way we feel about the downtown fabric.
And I understand. Mhm. I understand. And there's the same thing. Please don't see me as somebody that is not going to be doing something. I already exposed what I'm trying to do. Obviously, it's part of the whole picture for me. And I appreciate if you look at me as a good promise that we're going to be doing this. Again, the apartments are going to be done, Mr. Walker. I'm not stepping out. Allowing me to have the restaurant or the proposal restaurant is just going to be bringing in more opportunities for me in downtown. So
Okay.
I don't want to run away. I'll be honest.
Appreciate that.
Thank you so much.
Yes, sir. Thank
So
you.
before you vote, what I would do is also introduce the other, because it impacts in the same area. I would review also.
The same thought.
Again, what I'm looking And this is why I'm showing the Sanborn maps. It looks like the shotgun was rotated in the 1957 Sanborn map. I have just thrown some lines, Mr. Walker, from that shotgun to the original corner building, and I don't find exactly here in the Google Earth that the lines are exactly the same. What I would say is that this house is, and I have never been doing this kind of exercise before, but I don't think that this house is wider than the one that the Sanborn map shows. So that would mean that probably the house that appears in the deeds that I discovered of 1950s in regards to the corner house or rehab and so, perhaps the 1979 rehab that was done by Peña Lumber. You can see here in the history, Peña Lumber Yard, 1979, hired by the new owners. Perhaps they do a kind of remodel or remodelation of a house, move there in that time or something. But I feel that the layout of that house is not exactly the one shown in the Sanborn map. Perhaps I'm right, perhaps I'm wrong, but really the 1957 Sanborn map doesn't look like.
Actually, there was not a house there. That house was moved there. It was just the one in the front.
Yeah, and I also checked the 1964 Sanborn map that you gave to me, and so that is not included here, and it still has this house. So probably it's a 1979 relocation and rehab by the owners. However, the surveyor decided that is a medium because, well, sometimes they go fast and so. In any case, let us move through the other one because you can see what is the condition of this house and what is the interior, let us say, building features and so. You can see some old double panel there and so, but that's practically it, what you have there. While the other one, let us check the other one now. Okay, I think that this is kind of a very cute and important house. As I told the other day, this is the Jesus Sáenz that was the father of Florencio, the one that developed the Toluca Ranch. He really was the owner of all the four front houses. What had happened is that in 1919, 3 houses were burned, and that's the reason why those houses are brick right now. And the only wood house is this one that is the original from the father. In this case, paying a visit with Garcia, there was an addition, an old addition of this protruded left area that really appears already in the 1914 Sanborn map. So probably what it was is simply a rectangular side gable house, which with the front added, with that front left area added. So right now it's being covered by vinyl. I'm going to show you also some interior photographs. You still have the original entrance door there. I'm showing also the other side that you didn't see the last time. This is the extension. It's interesting because it shows not only the transom windows, but that you have also bulleyes on the top. That really is kind of Victorian, so it's an old addition. The floor really needs repair. It doesn't seem that it's rotten, simply repair, and there's other areas that are totally lost, you know. You have this kind of wainscot that is really beautiful, even the original plug that you can see there, probably that's from the 1930s, 1940s. You see the fireplace that to me is very simple, but kind of an outstanding piece, you know. And all over the place, it's the wainscot running. For example, that floor is not original. And then with the roof, with the ceiling, what you have is old planks. You have the old planks there. And these one that are more green, those are kind of modern. I don't know if review again, now that Larry has come to the place. Okay.
Yeah, Mr. Garcia?
Yeah, I want to mention something. Another thing that I want you guys also to know is that all the old things of the houses, I don't throw away. I keep the windows, I keep the doors, I keep all the wood, elements. I have, and that way, if we need to use them, we can use them for something else.
Where do you store it?
I got a warehouse that I have everything, and here in downtown, actually. So we do have that. The wood is rotten. We have, polilla, how do you say polilla in English? The termites, a lot of termite. It's actually not good. That's why the movers that came in to give me a price, they told me that they needed to reinforce it in order to move it. So, at least I want you guys to understand that it's not that I'm gonna demolish and that's it. No, everything that I can save, it will be saved. I can also donate it if it's needed. I've done it before to other buildings that are being constructed or rebuilt here downtown. They call me because they know that I have everything, or most of the things. And I don't sell it to them. I give them to them. So, and that happened with the Coca-Cola business, building here. I gave them about 7 doors, that they were gonna use. Mr. Valle also calls me for other stuff. So yes, there's things that, I'm not gonna throw away for sure.
The things that you salvage. Okay, is there,
So yeah, I was explaining, Larry, that the original house was probably side gable, and then the addition to the left was added later, because all that protruded area is kind of separate from the original house. You can see here the original entrance door, some bull eyes on the protruded area, that I'm telling you. And the floor, it's in different condition, you can see. Some rotten, that's the fireplace that I'm telling you. You can see the wainscot that runs all over the house, plug. Here you can see more views. You have the old planks there and the new, so could be a kind of house like this with the doors. And again, this is the project. So in this case, what I'm saying are kind of the same principles as the other one. You can forward it to the city to the city commission.
Can I add
because it has
something?
passed.
I want to add something. Can you go back because what's the name of the house next to Adams and 7 Juan Tijerina?
What?
The house next to the lots that we have on Adams.
Oh, that's the Crichel house. The one and the other part.
The one that
of
has
alley?
the placard, yeah, the one next to it that has the very ugly apartments on the back.
oh, that's,
The Cabazas?
Chula Griffin.
Griffin, yeah, that's the Griffin house. That's actually a house that's been restored and is being placard. It's actually part of the city, tour of historic buildings. I do my rounds every day downtown. Nobody but goes there. I've been inside that house, Griffin's house. It's very nice. It has very things, but right now it's having issues because the floor, it's unleveling and it's, if they don't treat it, Mr. Walker, that's gonna be a house that's gonna have a problem and it's not gonna be a historic house anymore. So what I'm trying to tell you with this, and this is my last comment, okay? I understand that there's things that we need to survive from the historic part and bring it along. But we also have to have a way to bring people downtown to see things. So I believe that a mix of the historic with something new that's gonna come here, it's gonna create a lot of opportunities for downtown and for everybody. So that's my proposal for this property is making the house on the right part of the restaurant, but creating a people flow to come in and be downtown. So that's what I want to say. Thank you, Juan.
Thank you, Mr. Garcia.
So,
Okay.
well, the recommendation was to, if you consider that the project is somehow complete, that you can see the project with the renderings, and so you may forward the other project and this one as well to the city commission, unless you want to
Okay.
vote on for demolition. In this case, it has also passed.
Is there a motion to
60
close public
days.
hearing?
So moved.
Is there a second? Second. Motion made and second. Any further discussion? If not, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Those opposed, motion passes. Okay, we need to hurry along. Is there a motion on this first item?
B1.
B1. You know, I don't feel very strongly about saving this house because I really, as Juan says, it really, we're not even sure that it even goes back to 57. I feel very strongly about that building on the corner, but a building like that is in such bad shape, I don't feel so strongly about. So to me, the two buildings that you're proposing are very, very different. One, it falls in one category. The second, the one on the corner, I bet you we could figure out a solution for it because as Calvin said, we want to work with you. We want to be a partner with you, but as Rolando had said before when he was here, our task is to save whatever we can possibly save. And that a lot of people come downtown to also see the historic buildings because they're a big asset. And so, so just a comment that on the first issue of B1.
Okay, is there a motion? Is there a motion? Is there a motion?
So what you were proposing is that maybe the first house could be gone on behalf of the second one to be preserved?
I don't feel strongly about B1. I just as soon see none of them go, but that one I see very different from B2.
Okay. Thank you.
Okay, I'll ask once more. Is there a motion? Okay, this item dies for lack of a motion, I suppose. We'll go to B2. Mr. Velez?
Yeah, for the B2, the recommendation is similar. I mean, the owner has been requested the demolition since January 24th in this case. So in this case, exactly, we see that instead of mantling or demolishing, due to the Victorian building features that it has, we can see not even as an affordable house, but probably a commercial use because the architectural building features of mainly of the interior. So what we are really suggesting here is that maybe the owner could donate this medium preservation priority ranking for affordable housing, but the best use would be the commercial one. And again, the staff would encourage not only the tax exemptions, but also grants to rehab this house if it is used for commercial use and could be relocated, but at least saved. Perhaps may I remind you that the city of Brownsville also has kind of two lots in Jackson Street. So if you were sending a letter to the city of Brownsville, perhaps they could consider the possibility to help to relocate this house.
Just need a motion, sir.
I'd like to make a motion to reopen B1.
Is there a second?
I'll second.
Okay, motion made and seconded. Any further discussion? If not, all those in favor say aye. Those opposed, motion passes.
I'd like to make a motion that we do allow for the demolition of that one, standing that's not probably going to be the case with the corner one. That we'll work with you to figure that one out. But I have a hard time holding someone's feet to the fire for a building that we're not even sure is even 50 years old. And so I'd make a motion to allow demolition of B1.
All right, is there a second?
I'll second.
Motion made and seconded. Any further discussion? If not, all those in favor say aye. Those opposed, motion passes.
What about the
Okay,
second
going
one
back
then?
to B2.
What about the second one? Yeah, the second one, really, we are in the same kind of period. It has passed 60 days. Now, again, the Victorian building features of this house are kind of very interesting. I would not say unique, but very interesting. And I feel that it's a very clear commercial use. And then if it is a commercial use, even when it's relocated and you save it, you may have grants from BCIC and so, or at least I would support it. It doesn't matter if it goes to another place within the historic district or whatever. If it is safe within Brownsville limits, at least we will do something that it's good and at the same time allow the project to move forward. I was
Okay.
suggesting the city property at Jackson Street that we have two. So, but I don't know if that would be the best scenario or not, nearby the CDCB's properties that they rehab.
All right, I hate to rush along, but we're going to lose the quorum here in probably 7 or 8 minutes.
Okay.
So, Mr. Garcia, did you want to speak?
I understand what you say. I also propose that I don't want to demolish the corner house if it's not needed and if it can be saved, okay? So I'm willing to donate the house and I'm willing to even put money to move the house. So if you can help me get another property that we can put the house, I'm willing to put up to $5,000 to move the house. Okay, so that's my proposal. If it's something that you can look at it.
Would you be willing to meet with us sometime next week at that corner?
Yeah, yes, I want to say yes, but I'm gonna be out next week, Mr. Walker. It can be, if it can be following week, yes.
Well, the following week, I'm going to be out for graduation. But maybe maybe right after Memorial Day.
Yes, sir.
Can you hold off on that?
Yes, sir. Yes,
Okay.
no problem. Yeah.
All right.
Uh-huh.
Mr. Velez, we'll schedule a meeting after Memorial Day to meet
Right.
over there at that corner.
Okay, so you table?
With that in mind, then, I'd like to just table it until we get a chance to have that meeting.
Yes, no
Okay.
problem.
All right. Is there a motion to close public hearing?
So moved.
Is there a second?
I'll second.
Motion made and seconded. Any further discussion? If not, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Those opposed, motion passes. All right.
Okay, let us move, let us move
Motion to
fast.
table. Is there a second?
Second.
Motion made to table, and there's a second. Any further discussion? If not, all those in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Those opposed, motion passes. Okay, it's tabled. We'll meet sometime after Memorial Day. We'll get back with you on that. Okay, next item is B3, 1138 South Frontage Road. Mr. Velez.
Okay. 1,000, yeah, 100, okay, this is the lot count that you see there. They are requesting a food truck. Okay, so this is the place right now. So they are proposing a food truck. This would be the layout. What it has been recommended and accepted by the property owners is to build a brick wall surrounding the food truck area to avoid, noises, etc., to the neighbors, and then build the parking in front. In this case, the parking in front is allowed because it's a traditional neighborhood corridor. Okay. So we were also discussing with them and with the designers the kind of restroom to build something that could match the typical minimal traditional buildings that you find there. So this is the Artisan Lab recommended 7.25 inches and 6 for exposure. That somehow resembles the typical bevel siding, or this other one that is a smooth siding from Hardy Plank as well. We are recommending the left or the right doors for the restrooms. So simply we are saying that that's okay to approve the item until under the following recommendations. That is the fiber cement siding show, the minimal traditional doors, and a dark gray roof. And the side fences would have to be simply set back to the beginning, to the starting of the.
Okay, is there a motion to approve?
Motion to approve with staff recommendations.
Okay, there's a motion made to approve with staff recommendations. Is there a second?
I'll second.
Motion made. Any further discussion? If not, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Those opposed, motion passes.
Okay.
Next item, B4, 429 West Elizabeth.
Yeah, this is the Cohen site. It's an extension of the truck launch. What it has been discovered is that this was the L.R. Cohen's house, but it was demolished long time ago. You can see that the expansion has been already expanded because there was a hurry. on that customer to do not lose. And so we don't see any kind of effect. This would be more a kind of approval and ratification. What I'm showing is how the food truck looked like. You can see there to the right, bottom right, the expansion of the proposal food truck, and we simply are recommending to approve it.
Okay, is there a motion to approve?
I have a question. There's a tree there. Will the tree stay? Or is that coming out?
Good question.
Well, that's there. I mean, has been touched. No one is right now.
I'd like to see the tree stay. That's my only comment.
Do what?
I'd like to see the tree not be.
Well, it's a shade. It's a natural shade. So, and it's on the back of the existing trucks. Looks like, but that could be tackled in a further expansion of that place, right?
Okay, is there a motion?
Motion to approve?
Motion to approve, is there a second?
Second.
Any further discussion? If not, all those in favor say aye. Those opposed, motion passes. Last item, B5.
Okay, this is the Simon Sandoval site. So it was bought by Simon Sandoval, the rear one. The other piece was by other family. This is the third lot on the bottom. Looking to the 1957 San Bormar, that L structure was demolished a long time ago. This is how it looked like, the half lot. And this is the proposal. Now, there are several things here to be said. It's a half lot. So if it is proved that the property was divided before 1971, there would not be any problem to move the house. So that part is subject to zoning. It's not subject to us. So let us focus simply in the design, please. So supposedly, if the house could be moved, they are proposing this one, but what I have done and discussed with the property owner is to, instead of having a horizontal side gable house, rotate it so he can have enough space to put a driveway and the parking on behind. Why? Because this is a traditional neighborhood, you know, and in a traditional neighborhood, the parking has to be 50 feet setback on the back, and so in this case, you can only get it in these 60 feet, and so if you put the parking kind of there, you know, and it's allowed at 10 width or something like that parking. Otherwise, they could only have a driveway, not a parking. Okay. So that is what I'm recommending, and then taking a look to the photographs, rotate 180 degrees this one, so the front could be seen in this one. That is the current rear, and the current front, put it in the back. Okay, and then all the bedrooms facing northwest. So this should be the front facade. We have agreed for a horizontal fiber cement siding in this case, because that doesn't, let us say, encompass the rest of the buildings that are in the neighbor. It's only the building, not this side attachment that you can see, or the left attachment that you see there. This would be the rear addition, new siding, as I said. This is the bedroom area that would be facing northwest, and the kitchen southeast. So we are recommending artisan lab better for preservation purposes, a door that could match this one, and if he wants to build some fence, 3.5. So this is the approved recommendations. It's all about exactly what I have explained, and that's it.
Is the owner in agreement with your recommendations?
Yes, we have agreed. Here is also the mover, and naturally what I'm going to give them. And so after they clear with zoning, we are going to look that the moving is correctly done, and instead of putting the house horizontal, putting in the other way, so they can put this kind of driveway and so.
Right. And because it's been about 5-6 months. Yeah, there's nothing, and I need to move that house, because I mean the landlord there, she's charging us for each month Okay, and it's been 5, 6 months. Now the house, I mean, we used to live right there on Fillmore Street, right? And now you're saying that, it's historic, right, Mr. Velez?
Yeah, so what
So
we ask,
we need to move that house.
Okay.
Cause I mean, our thing is, it's the third generation. We've been moving houses for a long time, my granddad and then my dad. Now, I was seeing this house over here that was moved from, Iturias Ranch. That was a historic, now it's not a historic, yeah. It's just a regular house.
Okay, let me get
And
this.
that's what I say, I mean, why can't we move that house?
no,
Okay.
well, there are two issues. One is zoning. If, the lot right now is 60 feet, so you have to demonstrate that the lot was divided before 1971. These are American rules. These are not even Brownsville. So if you do not, I think that it's easy because I found 9045.
Yeah, right,
This,
yeah.
and so that would be easy, but he has to show it to the planning and zoning
Right,
area.
yeah. No, we're going by what you're
And then-
saying, right? We're
and-
going by yourself.
That's
what
right.
you're saying, I mean, if it needs that siding, that Paloma or California siding, I mean, it's for 12 feet. You're talking about $17 each?
No, well, I'm talking or wood.
Now, there's another one that they use on trailer, mobile homes. It's almost the same as California.
Okay, if you put Pecho de Paloma or.
Pecho de Paloma.
Okay,
Yeah.
I mean, these are the ideal wood sidings. If you prefer wood because it's cheaper, you can do in wood or horizontal siding such as this one.
Right, you can do it on that plaster, that smart siding. It's the same thing.
Yeah, but what you have right now is not exactly matching this is the current siding. It doesn't match the houses that you have. So
Hold on.
what,
Is there a motion to close public hearing?
So moved.
Is there a second?
Second.
Motion made and seconded. Any further discussion? If not, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Okay, I'll entertain a motion.
I'll make a motion to approve with staff recommendations.
All right, is there a second? Motion made and seconded. Any further discussion? If not, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Those opposed? Motion passes. Is there a motion to adjourn?
So moved.
Is there a second?
I'll second.
Motion made and seconded. Any further discussion? If not, all those in favor say aye.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay. Try to get it further. Have a good weekend, Philip.
that out later. Yeah.
No, I know, we heard.